ever had back pain so bad that even putting on your socks felt like an impossible task? Or maybe you sneezed and felt the sharp jolt run down your leg? These could be signs of a hidden disc injury, and ignoring them can lead to long-term damage. Stick with me and I'll explain the 3 warning signs of a disc herniation, why it happens, and what you can do today to protect yourself in the future. My name is Dr. Chris Cameron, and for the last 24 years, I've been helping the Lucan community get rid of back pain, disc herniations, and sciatica. And unfortunately, disc herniations are more common than you might think. In fact, 85% of working Canadians will experience debilitating back pain at some point in their lives. And here's the problem. Many of them suffer in silence, thinking that it's just a normal part of aging. But trust me, it's not. Disc herniations don't just show up overnight. They take time to develop through poor posture, long sitting, and incorrect movement patterns. If untreated, you're looking at recurring flare-ups, limited mobility, and even long-term nerve damage. Let me walk you through the 3 warning signs that I see time and time again in practice. One of the biggest red flags is recurring flare-ups. They start small. Maybe you bend down to tie up your shoes and feel a bit of discomfort. Then it happens again, and suddenly the pain is more frequent and lasts longer. In fact, just last week, I spoke with a patient who shared with me how her back pain started. She told me that her flare-ups started once a year. Then it became every 3 months, and then once a month until she couldn't get out of bed without experiencing pain every morning. Sound familiar? The problem is your flare-ups are happening more frequently because you're not healing. The underlying issue of the disc injury is still there and getting worse. If you're stuck in this cycle, it's time to address the real cause. The second most common but often ignored warning sign is sharp, sudden pain shooting down the leg. Have you ever coughed, sneezed, or even laughed and suddenly you felt a sharp pain shoot down the back of your leg? This happens because coughing or sneezing increases the pressure inside the spinal canal. If there's a disc herniation pressing on the nerve, that pressure can cause intense pain, especially if sciatica is involved. Don't brush this off. It's not just a pinch, it's a sign that your spine isn't handling your daily stresses and it really needs to be addressed. Here's a classic warning sign: struggling to bend forward and put on your socks or shoes. Every morning you reach down and you feel a stiffness or pain. This happens because the disc herniation restricts your ability to hinge forward without pain. When we see patients who have to brace themselves when they're on furniture, when they're trying to put on their shoes, this is often a disc-related issue. Over time, this lack of mobility can lead to muscle imbalance and making the problem worse. And here's the thing, if you don't fix it now, it won't get better on its own. Disc injuries just don't happen from one bad lift at the gym. They're often caused by long-term issues like poor posture, bad movement patterns, sitting all day, slouching at your desk, or overworking certain muscle groups while neglect others that can all contribute to the problem. This imbalance creates what's called a lower cross syndrome, where tight quads and weak glutes force your spinal muscles to do extra work, eventually leading to disc damage. The good news is there are simple steps that you can take to avoid further damage. For example, get up and move every 30 minutes if you sit for long periods. Make sure your workstation is set up ergonomically. Strengthen your glutes and hamstrings and back muscles with targeted exercises. And most importantly, if you're experiencing these warning signs, seek help. These warning signs aren't something to be ignored. If you've been dealing with recurring flare-ups, sharp pain while sneezing, and trouble with your mobility for more than 3 months without any improvement, it's time to take action. Our clinic specializes in non-surgical spinal decompression, and we've helped thousands of people get their lives back. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment below, and share this with someone who might be struggling with back pain. I'm here to help you, and together we can get you back to living pain-free. For more information, click the button down below.